Hey guys, how is it going? I'm really excited for tonight and to be talking about our villains and stunts, choreography and stuff. Very excited to have Drew on. There's Drew. All right, guys. So as they're loading up and stuff, how's everybody's evening going? I'm excited, guys. Hey.
Hey, Drew.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
Tim.
How's it going, Drew?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Glad to have you here. It's exciting. It's exciting. Um, we showed your mask and everything. I'm still waiting to hear back on the final word on how that's going. But
It looked great from the thing you shared. I like the way it looked.
yeah. That's actually from the prototype when it was still in, and then he's finishing it up now, and he's supposed to be sending it hopefully this week.
Okay.
So, but
Well, I look forward to putting it
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it on on you. So, how's it going though? Like I don't know, we've talked a few times since the fight night.
Yeah.
Quite night.
Very busy, right?
Yeah.
Between kids and everything. Very busy. What about you?
Oh, it's very, very busy, very busy. The campaign is keeping us busy. Which, by the way, guys, if you hadn't seen, I think we're over. We've got 45 backers now. So thanks everyone who's pitching in and making this thing real. We really can't do it without the help of our warriors and the people that are coming on board with this, people like Drew and the team he's put together, but also, you guys that aren't specifically involved with the production aspect of it, you guys are just as important. So thank you so much for joining us and being with us along on this journey. It's great to have all of you. So yeah, let's talk about bad guys. Drew, tell me a little about your character and what your sort of first impressions were. Were you familiar with Arthur Brown beforehand?
Yeah, so I had read the comic, and I would say I was underwhelmed with that character. I actually had personal issues with it when I read it years ago. I was like, there were questions that didn't get checked off. I just didn't get it. Our version, I think in the entire story that you put together, he's probably the character that's most different than he portrayed in the comics.
For sure.
I like the changes that you made with him. He's
Yeah.
No,
I'm waving at everybody. In fact, I see that even I have joined the room. Tim Kou Photo has joined the room, so I'm waving at myself. I don't know how this is possible. But
yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. I mean, everybody. I feel like all the rest of our characters hew very close to the source material, and definitely Arthur Brown is something that we tweaked a little bit more to serve the character of Stephanie and to make her character and her journey a little bit more fleshed out and a little bit more complex.
Yeah, it fills in a lot of it answers a lot of it answers a lot of questions for her as well, as far as why she is the way she is and emotions that she might be going through. All directly related with her father. So it was a very interesting character.
So apparently, I'm saying
Hey, Bryce.
I'm saying that I told the boys that they could watch it from my computer. It's just confusing. I think my wife is definitely controlling that
room
account right now. Hey, Bryce, how's it going?
What's up? Yeah.
So yeah,
We got the villains in the house today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the bad guys. Yeah.
So yeah, there's some changes that we made to Arthur Brown, Cluemaster, which we haven't used on any of our marketing. We haven't used the term Cluemaster very widely, and I don't know.
But we certainly have some call outs to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Cluemaster gets mentioned, not specifically necessarily by name.
Not as a moniker, but as something in the story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. Watch out for that. In fact, if you no, it's not in the teaser. Never mind.
What did I miss?
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely. We tweaked the character of Arthur Brown to be a little more, actually kind of start closer to Stephanie, because when Stephanie gets thrown into Detective Comics 647, it's just like Arthur's there, he's doing his thing, he's the bad guy, and she's just there to stop him, and there's nothing else that sets that relationship up.
Yeah.
It's just like she doesn't like him for whatever reason. She doesn't like what he's doing, and she's trying to stop him, which is, great. No, but as an origin story, we're like, okay, what can we do here that kind of gives it more, gives the relationship more.
Yeah, and with the lack of their relationship, if I'm referring to the same thing, was, when he realizes what she's doing, he kind of just turns on her without any emotional element to it. He's just kind of like, just the switch is that, and that's like a new obstacle to deal with, which I didn't connect with.
Which version of Cluemaster were you most familiar with?
We mentioned it. I forgot the title.
The Batman Eternal, the more recent one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
when she's crying in the rain after she realizes it, and everybody's out. He's pretty incompetent.
Yeah.
Hey, McDunn. Yeah. Spider-Man Lotus. We're happy to see that happen.
Yeah,
and
finally got a release. We're excited for them.
Very cool stuff.
They did some good work there. So, but villains. I mean, we liked villains, right?
They're always fun to act out because you get to. I feel like they're more creative because you don't have to. You get to work outside the process that you would usually do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get to choose some scenery.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the character as you were reading it? What were some of the things that popped out at you without obviously giving too much away? But
conversely to what I had read prior, he seems a lot more competent, a lot more prepared, put together. He's got a plan and he can execute. A lot more forethought. He seems like a very bright guy, which kind of makes sense with the Cluemaster. What they're doing, not to give it, like you said, not to give away too much of the plot, but he's very competent both physically and mentally, which is always better Batman villain.
Yeah. So if you guys hadn't gathered from the teaser or seen from any of our information out there, we made Arthur Brown a Navy SEAL character. So he's a military guy. That gives sort of the I guess gives him a reason to be like the smart guy, and also gives him a physicality.
The tough guy.
Yeah. Right. Gives him a physicality and that competence that you're talking about, just both mentally and physically. There's a reason for that, and as we were trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do with Arthur? How do we make him a formidable opponent to Stephanie? Because in the comics, let's be honest, he's not. Right. So how do we make him, not just a formidable opponent or opposite to Stephanie, but also to Batman. You know, and like you said, I think in Eternal it wasn't realistic, and his competence as it compared to the world's greatest detective just wasn't believable to us.
And I think that was the point of the character in that comic. They do that in the comics where they'll have characters that are throwaway. They're not competent and they get easily defeated. But that's not fun to play.
And I think they tried to do that to make him more of a formidable villain in Batman Eternal, and I think so we're definitely, I think, drawing a little bit from what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Though we're taking a slightly different angle on it, and I think maybe some of the things in Batman Eternal that weren't really explained, like why he was competent. It was just like, yeah, he's like this really, really big mastermind, and you're like, well, okay, well, why is he that? And I think what we were trying to do is to give a reason for that, to fill in his background a little bit, so that you have some sense of where he's coming from and what he is.
Because he's disciplined, right? He's got goals, step by step, what he needs to do, how he's going to do it. But you can also see he's sincerely a family man as well. So he's instilled these same strengths in his own personality onto his daughter as well, and that has developed her who she is now.
I think that's a really great point, that we wanted the character and the relationship to have a very real world feel.
Right.
And you know, what kind of relationship, especially since, you know, starting out, we kind of knew that Steph wasn't going to have a really good relationship with her mom, and just like in the comics, her relationship with her mom is it's pretty shaky. So we knew that we were going to kind of follow that. And so it was like, well, where does she get her personality, her spunk, her, you know, and it just made sense to have that kind of rubbing off from her dad a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm excited for the character. What are some of your favorite things now about this version of the character? Again, without giving away too much.
The first thing that came was a pretty big giveaway. Well, obviously, so we know he's a very relevant villain to this storyline. So he's given a lot to play with and to do, and he gets to play both sides of, you know, being successful and falling short. Just the different angles that he gets to, I guess, approach in his mission. Also, I guess it's fun that we haven't shot most of these yet, but obviously his personalities are going to be very different based on what he's doing. It's a double life.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one scene that we have shot, which, you know, none of the footage from that scene is released yet, but there is one moment where I loved how you played that, you know, where you have this you played a very dualistic character, and in a sense it's kind of all about what our overarching story is all about, you know, this dualism between you know, right and wrong, or good and bad, or one life versus another.
Who's the,
you know,
the real you?
Yeah.
You know, the one that you put on, or is it, you know, are you hiding something? And I mean, that's the question even with Batman, right? And
he's very calculated, as I've been saying, and he's got his plans. So I got distracted for a second, but he's very intentional and aware, so that the way he could react differently in different situations intentionally. So even as you're doing things, everything's intentional, I feel like, and you do almost like, what does this guy actually want? Or feel, and I think even himself, he's not, it changes, or he's not entirely sure. But there's a goal he's trying to get to.
Yeah. And we have, I mean, we have two villains, right? So, and one thing I like, before we get into the other villain, one thing I like about the dynamic between these two is that it's not like, I mean, Arthur isn't Black Mask's crony or the other way around, right? They each have kind of their own agendas, and they each have, they're each trying to do something different.
Yeah.
And they just kind of happen to coincide and work together on one thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really have Black Mask be anybody's crony. I mean, it just doesn't work, right? And then our version of Arthur Brown, it's not, I wonder who the other villain is.
Well, he's here.
Well, I mean, he's in the room. We had a question. So will Arthur and Black Mask cross paths? Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Yeah. You will absolutely get to see that in part one. We haven't shot that yet. I'm so excited to shoot that. I'm really excited to work with you on that scene.
That's like that's a big scene. It's not just like, hey, they happen to be. No, that's like a really big scene. No, and I can't wait to share it with people.
When Arthur and Black Mask get in the room together, there's let's say where there's smoke, there's fire. And it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
But it's not just them. It's like there's like so much happening all around that it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I promise you.
Yeah.
Another question: most exciting thing so far that you can tell us about? It doesn't look like the question finished. I mean, the answer finished come through. But
open-ended. Most exciting thing you can tell them so far about?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay, I won't spoil. No spoilers. Only one spoiler here.
Let's go with that. There's just so many exciting things about this project overall for me. But I mean, one of the most exciting things for me has been just seeing all the different people come together, all of the creative juice that is seeping into this project, and I love it. Being able to coordinate with you, Drew, on the choreography, but then also just watching the rest of the team just like be creative on the spot, and it was just a very collaborative thing on set, but also before in rehearsal, and that's the way that the whole thing has been. The whole project's been just like creative people just coming in and just like being super creative. So to me, it's not even about like what the most exciting one experience has been. It's been about like the whole project is really exciting to me, and it just like feeds my passion into it. So
I mean, I've been surprised by a lot of the small details I've noticed from you guys. Gotham has its own Uber with their own logos, and that was or the map that is on the laptop of Gotham City that's got, not to give away too much, and then obviously the reveal of I think it was my first day I saw the costume, which I was very satisfied with. I thought it looked great, so that's going to be more fun to get going, and everything together like that, and like you said, the different collaborative efforts, and surprised by the different skills of because you had music talking last time, and that's way outside of my house, and then you guys do the editing, which is great, and it's kind of cool to see everything come together like that.
So I'm excited about the talent and the crew and the people, the obviously the cast too, people that are involved.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the collaborative aspect of it, and what a lot of people coming together can do that just one or two guys can't do by
Yeah.
themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I can write it, Tim can write it, and we got this thing on a page, and then it takes a whole team to bring it together and to make it come to life. And I think definitely some of the most exciting things for me is like when you get in the edit and you've got the footage and you start dropping it in and you're like, oh, this scene is like working. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all the work paid
it's
off
actually
and
looking like how I envisioned it. What?
right.
Yeah, it's a little mind blowing to see the vision actually come together, and like it. Yeah, it sets off all the giddy,
Yeah.
all the giddy buttons.
So let's talk about Black Mask a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Speaking
Yeah.
of writing, so you wrote Tim wrote. I think Tim wrote most of the Black Mask material. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And he plays the Black Mask, so that's appropriate. So, for those of you who have not seen the trailer, wait until we're done here and then go watch it.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I have the mask with me, but I'm not going to wear it because you guys should see it in the trailer.
yeah. So Black Mask makes his appearance at the end of the trailer that we released. Well, I guess it's been up in several places, but we kind of released it into the wild today, where everybody can see it. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out. And I'm, when we got those are some of the shots where I was putting in. I was just like, wow, this looks so good, and I'm so excited to share those with everybody. So Tim, tell me about what it's like to write the character that you're playing.
Oh, I mean, it's fun. It's fun because I know exactly how the phrasing works for me, and when I'm writing it and I get into the voice and I start like, how am I gonna actually deliver this line? And it's like, okay, yeah, all right, so I can figure out how that works, and then it's just a matter of tone, just not like vocal tone, but like figuring out the right vocabulary and stuff for the character, because you don't want him too eloquent, but you also don't want him sounding like a thug. So finding that balance of like mob boss. I'm a mob boss, right? And then also I loved writing that scene. This is why I'm so excited to do this scene with you, Drew. I love writing that scene between Arthur and Black Mask, and because you get to see this like there's
power play. Yeah.
Sorry?
There's like this power play between
you see
them.
a power play between them, and you get to see this sort of mob, like hierarchy, like they're fighting for something without fighting, right? It's like all about body positioning and what I'm doing versus what he's doing versus what I say and how he responds and how I dodge what he's talking about, and it's like it's a lot of fun. So
like jiu-jitsu.
Sorry?
Like non-contact jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's non-contact jiu-jitsu. It's also almost non-verbal jiu-jitsu. So it's like there's like this stuff happening in the scene that it's just again, it's just like a room tone. It's like, oh,
some of it is
tension here.
Staging. It's going to be like how you stand and where you stand and yeah, all that. It's going to be that is fun.
Yeah. So writing Black Mask was a lot of fun. There are other scenes that he's in too. So, but you definitely get to see Black Mask in part 1 and in later parts as well. So
I saw a question from Emma.
Yeah.
Who is which Black Mask is Black Mask based off of any current comic run? I think. Definitely.
In terms of story, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. But definitely the character. I mean, Black Mask is like this over the top kind of guy that I feel like he's. We definitely drew on the Black Mask that appears in some certain Stephanie Brown stories.
Yeah.
And the one that you see in like the Red Hood, under the hood, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have that sort of again, it's tone. It's the persona that he puts out, right? And there have been iterations or representations of Black Mask in the animated stuff and in the games, obviously, which I love. Black Mask in the games, and also in TV shows too. Of course, in the Birds of Prey as well. But I think the ones that hit closest to the tone of the comics, as well as what we're doing here, is probably the animated stuff. I would say,
like Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, Under the Red Hood.
Yeah. Speaking of the mask and other iterations, what? So I know the answer, but what sets this mask apart from other iterations that we've seen?
All right, so you guys, for those of you who have seen the trailer teaser, maybe you know the answer to this already, but for those that haven't, or maybe weren't paying so close attention, is I designed the mask in 3 different parts. You've got the back part and the front, skull part, but then you've got the jaw that's completely separate. And it was really important to me to have this articulating jaw, because in the comics, you have frames. Here, I pulled up. You have frames like this one, for example, here, where he's sort of reaching out, and he's got an open mouth, right? And then like up here, again, you can see his open mouth, and here you see his open mouth. I'm like, you know what? It's really important to me that this particular design has an articulating jaw. So like when he screams, when he shouts,
you can see the inside of his mouth.
You can see the jaw open. You can see, the expression becomes so much more organic and so much more like real when the mouth opens up. And also, as I was designing that and then finally got it printed out, I was like, oh, I can actually smoke a cigar in this mask. So our Black Mask is capable of smoking a cigar. It made a lot of iterations can't. So yeah. Even the game one, which is iconic, probably the most iconic Black Mask design out there. It's just the steel helmet or whatever, and non-articulating, and it's like, well, he can't eat in it,
and he can't really emote in it either.
Right.
Yeah, if you were to wear something like that.
Yeah. So our Black Mask can.
Yeah. And in case you didn't,
a scotch and smoke a cigar in his mask. Yes. Well, he can get lung cancer.
He can. So, in case you didn't catch it, Tim sculpted that in Blender in 3D, and then you want to tell us a little bit about how that was created?
Oh yeah, I did a 3D scan of my head, and then I basically threw a sphere on top of the 3D version of my head and started pushing things around, and then putting more and more details into it. It was just like, okay, how does it look? And sculpting it, and we, getting little details into the forehead, and especially this under eye. Like I love this under eye, cheekbone thing, and then the teeth, of course. So.
And then we
Getting
have
all those details.
somebody print it in resin,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm totally blanking on the name of the guy. I can find him in my Facebook messages, but
We'll tag him.
we'll I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Isn't it mouth cancer with cigars? Yeah. Just not as much as he doesn't chew. So that's the worst for you.
So we have a scene coming out at some point soon, right? That we shot with Drew and
Yes.
do you have
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I was glad. It kind of, to be honest, it was a lot of work for 2 days. Like you guys worked harder than we did, even, but at least follow up and everything. But as soon as it was done, I was like, all right, when can we do that again? Like I was like, what's? Because I feel like it went better than I could have hoped with everybody stepping up and doing anything that was asked of them, and hopefully everyone enjoys it as much as I enjoyed putting it together.
I gotta tell you, the team that you put together, Drew, is
amazing.
Amazing. It was so fun to work with them on rehearsal day. When we got in there, I saw everybody just like going. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun." And it was so cool again to see that it wasn't just like, "Okay, Drew, what do we do now? What do we
You want me to stand?
Yeah,
what do I punch?
How do you want me to punch?" And then you got to tell them to, okay, throw a left hook here, and and obviously I knew that talented people aren't just going to do that, but to actually see them get in there and then say, "Oh yeah, but this feels better this way," or that, what if we did this? Yeah. And all of the creative input throughout the whole experience, like even when we got to set shooting stuff, it was like why don't we change this up to make it better? And it was like, yes, I love it.
Yeah, the first thing I'll say is like, is there anything you're not comfortable with, or anything you don't want to do? And then, or is there anything you do want to show us? There's sometimes people like to do something and they haven't had a chance to put it on film yet. So it's just let me know. And it's collaborative, and then all of them have a lot of experience, and like I said, did a great job. But like Mario specifically is one of the fights, and when we were figuring out what to do with him, it was literally like just a walkthrough, just him and I step by step doing what we would do, and that ended up being like the version that we use. So that just shows to that was just a flow, and that's just what ended up making it in. So that was kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
And
hey Tim, do you have a preview of that up that you can show?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
But all of the fights are intentionally like different from each other, because
well, and it was I loved how each fight also had its the different personality for each fight, but also it had it fit so well with the people that we had. It was like we weren't forcing anything, like, oh, this is perfect for this, so this person's perfect for that. It was so fun to see that. Let's see. And also, let's see, sorry, blanking on what I'm doing here. Trying to find. Oh yeah, my filing system is pretty deep. So, rough edits. Okay, all right.
So Drew, in the meantime, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience as a fight coordinator and a stuntman?
They're fun, right? It's like being a kid where you're playing with your friends and you're putting stuff together. It's all about your own creativity and your own imagination. I'm pulling off of things I've seen before. I got into stunts. I started with specialty background because I had some weapons training and that kind of stuff. And then they asked me when I was doing it for a little bit if I would be interested in trying stunts. So I did, and I liked it a lot. So I kept doing it. And then whatever area you're in, obviously we're in the Midwest out here, so I find all the local people and we all train as much as we can, try to learn from each other, do whatever we can. But I do like the fight stuff a lot. It's a lot of fun. I did MMA training before I got into all, and then yeah, like I said, it's just about the beats of what the script and what the story is trying to show. And, you know, how do you fit in the actor's emotions and what do you want to do with it? And
yeah, I've heard fight choreography being, you know, described as like a dialogue, you know, like a conversation.
Yeah, because you could always, there's examples in movies and TV where you see like amazing, talented, put out fight. If it doesn't fit the story or if nobody's acting, you kind of tune out and you don't care. And like conversely, if they're reacting to the story, people can be a lot more forgiving with the fight if you're invested in what's going on in the scene. I think that's of the utmost importance.
So when you were putting this fight together, what were some of the key motivations with things?
This one was like, you and I met for lunch, and then we kind of started with nothing, kind of just tossed. I think that way it was filmed I don't even remember how it was originally written. Because at some point,
it was really like,
it's really sketchy.
It's very sketchy. Like, she fights some guys here and makes quick work of them, and then
it's like Shakespeare. They fight.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a fight scene. I remember we were at lunch and we're talking, and then like once we hit that flow, it almost just like, you know, we fill the page. We're like, oh, we got something. So it's like once it started, it was very easy. But yeah, it's a fight, and it's her, as far as we know, is watching it. It's her first real fight. So the whole point is her growth, her learning what the stakes are, then her realizing her training, and then her, you know, almost reacting to her own emotions of dealing with, you know, her own anger, you know, not responding, stuff like that, and the consequences of such, but not getting too confident also. And so it was very fun to put together. All of the fights are about, you know, Steph developing. So,
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
for me because I just get to say, hey, you two go fall down. And then I was behind the camera, not getting it.
You'll get your chance.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can't wait to film some of the fight scenes with you too. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show this, and
Part of it.
And you guys, okay, let me turn off some of my background lights here. It's not as glaring.
Is this the version with or without the new music?
It's without.
Oh.
It's without.
Okay.
So I'm not ready for that.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, so
Smith Lightheart is scoring this.
yes,
so
he's working on it right now, and we're so excited. We got a rough in yesterday, and
it was I'm pumped about it,
guys.
Good.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
But yeah, this scene is going to have a great score, and I'm still working on sounds and stuff. We just recorded some grunts and yells with Adrianna yesterday. Yeah, 2 days ago.
2 days.
Yeah. But here's the fight scene so far. All right, I think that's about as far as I'm going to go with that. But I loved that. I mean, we did have a double come in, do some of the moves for Stephanie that were a little more, shall we say,
She did.
required a little more. Yes, she did the Shang-Chi thing.
So, and that was Anna in the first fight.
Yes.
And going back to what you said, I don't remember if we just added a whole bunch from what we practiced and prevised, or if we changed stuff too. But she was very game and very. I was even surprised with some of the stuff we'd be like, "Well, let's try this," and then she was able to do it very well.
Yeah. Well, like I think like her jump kick off the wall was added on location because we're like, hey, we got this wall here. Why don't we use that? And it was like, yeah.
She did a very impressive move that we're like, wow, that was good. We're not going to use it, but we'll keep that in the back of the head maybe for next time. That would, she was.
So Anna was awesome. So enthusiastic. So great to work with. Loved working.
Everybody
with
was. Yeah, great to work with.
And, you know, so we had a double for. I don't know if she wants us to talk about her too much, but yeah. So yeah, you found it.
I get what might be the subtext. I understand what that might be. But I haven't heard.
Yeah,
but she's amazing, and at some point incredible. She will be. We'll tell you all about her at some point.
It was so cool that you found somebody so like.
She's like the same height and the same build, and she's like, wow.
and on set, we kept getting confused.
I have a photo of the two of them next to each other, and I'm like, I have to zoom in to see which one.
Which one it is? Yeah.
It's great, and then the fighters, the rest of it, Mario and Jim and Ian, they were just fantastic.
I gotta say, Adrianna was like really game to like learn the moves as well. She didn't just like leave everything up to the stunt, you know, her double, but like she wanted to like figure out how to like do the moves that she would be doing in the fight as much as possible.
It was so cool to see her working with her double too, you know. She'd come in and like, how do I do this move? What's your body positioning? What you know?
Also, that people don't necessarily think about, but it's like which foot is here, which hand are you hitting with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see them work together as well. Very fun, very fun. So guys, the rest of that scene, like that's just, dude, the way this one scene, this one fight ends, like we've got 4 fights in that scene, guys. But the way this one fight ends, I'm just like, oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, 4 fights for the price of 1 there. So when this releases, you get 4.
I guess we should mention though. Should we talk about where this fight fits in, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, the fight fits in. You know, this is Steph's first kind of foray into the criminal underworld, and she hasn't like put together her spoiler identity and persona yet, but she's just getting out there and trying to take down this thing, this kind of criminal network.
It's in the title. It's in the title of one of our BTS, so we can just say it, Chris.
Yeah. What is it? What's in it?
The title of the group, the name of the group.
Oh, the False Face Society, right? Yeah, she's trying to take down the False Face Society from the inside by like becoming a member or something and kind of joining their fight club.
These fight clubs that.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, Sean just joined. Everyone's got to go give him a follow. He's
yes, please, everybody, give Sean a follow. He gave us places to do this fight, and he was very involved with, some of the hands-on things too, just showing us how to film some stuff too. I was like, Sean, how do I film this? How do what do you think of this angle?
Where would you put the camera?
Yeah, Sean's
fight film experience.
Yeah,
and got some. If you like watching fights and trying to figure out how they work and all that stuff, Sean's got some great stuff on his page. So.
Sean's fantastic, and you should check out his credentials too. They're awesome. So and his reel, Sean, I think your reel is public, right? You should be able to find that on YouTube.
Hey, Smith.
Hey, Smith.
Composer in the house.
Yeah, we've got Sean Smith in the house.
YouTube, if you just look up his name, and then like you mentioned, his are on IMDb. But yeah, he's a worker.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So thanks so much, Sean, for also Sean won our Batman blackout T-shirt giveaway. So that was cool. I got to hand deliver it to him.
Yeah.
It sounds suspicious when we hype him up like that, and then you're like, oh, and he was also on the winner,
Yeah. So
the link is in his bio. You can hop over, give him a follow. You can just tap on his name and then follow him, and then go back and check him out after the live here, guys. He's awesome. And Smith, we were just talking about your score for this scene, which we're all excited to see. So I think Chris and I will jump on a call with you at some point, maybe tomorrow or something like that, and figure out couple of details, Smith. But we're looking forward to it. We're really excited about it.
Great. I loved it. So yeah,
absolutely.
So we're talking about how this fight fits in the story.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So Steph is getting out there in the world, and she wants to take down some baddies.
Yeah.
And this is how she finds an in into the False Face Society, and this is how she decides she's going to try.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got. And
so it does take place sort of outside of the actual story of the girl and
of the film. Yeah.
Of the film. But we've got some flashback calls to it, and so
it's kind of a prequel to the actual Girl in the Mask.
So full disclosure, in the actual film, you don't really get to see the entire fight beginning to end the way that we filmed it, and that's why we thought, hey, we would love to just produce the whole fight as a full piece and release it to people so that they can see some of stuff, some background Stephanie story stuff, as well as see what kind of action we're putting together for the Girl in the Mask. And
there's more. There's more where it came from. Yeah.
I could not be more excited about the potential and the growth that we're going to see. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, all right, guys. Any closing thoughts that you want to share with the followers?
Yes, bonus features.
Bonus features, exactly. A prequel side mission thing. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
It is. Kind of hit the nail on the head with that.
Mm-hmm.
The backstory to Steph's backstory.
Yeah.
The origins of the origin. Yes.
The girl before the mask. There you
go. The girl before the girl in the mask. Yes. Yeah. So guys, super excited about how things are going here. Do share with your friends. We're at our 32% marker, and I can't spell Emma, and I can't say words. So so help us out. Help us make this movie. I can hold the camera. That's about all I can do, guys.
Yeah, spread it around. Tell your friends. Tell everybody that
we have some people that we want to reach out to, and we want to mobilize our warriors to kind of help us reach out to some podcasters and stuff. It's cool if we're reaching out to people, but we thought, hey, it'd be really neat if we got all our followers, our warriors in to reach out at the same time to say, hey, pay attention to the Girl in the Mask. So we'll have some announcements about that coming up soon, and we want to get the word out there, get on some podcasts, get on some blogs and stuff.
Get some
guys,
today. Yeah.
If you didn't see it yet, The nerd.
Cultured nerd.
The
cultured nerd.
Cultured nerd. Who do I need to spam? Yes, let's do it. The cultured nerd just released a great write-up on the Girl in the Mask. So if you wanted to see a little bit more concise form of what our story is, they did a great job just giving us a great little concise article.
Theculturednerd.org.
Theculturednerd.org. One word. So, and I think that's still in our stories too. I'll post a link again in the story. But check that out. It's a fun 2.5 minute read. So, and if you guys, have any more questions, yes, go ahead. Yeah. Who do I need to spam? We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. Drew, any thoughts you have for, anything you want our followers our warriors to look forward to?
No, I just want to say thank you. I look forward to what we're going to do next. I've had a lot of fun so far, and I think we got some good footing, and confidence showing us that we can make something bigger. So I think that's forward to. I'm beating around saying what's coming up at the end. Similar to what we've done, but a lot more is what I'm looking forward to. So thank you.
I can't wait to release this fight scene to you guys. It's solid, guys. It's solid. I keep looking at it with that, like, how do I self-critique this? How do I make this? What didn't we do that we could have done better? And it's not that there's nothing. It's just that, like, the more I think about it, I'm like, this is working. It's working really nicely. So I'm very excited about it. So guys, thanks so much for joining us on this live, talking about villains and stunts and choreography and stuff. And I'm sure we'll be talking with Drew again, especially after we film our dialogue scene. I can't wait to do that. So we'll try to work that in the next couple months. But guys, thanks so much. Chris, any last thoughts there?
Yeah, keep sharing, keep telling people. We're gonna kind of land on hashtag the girl in the mask. So when you post things, hashtag the girl in the mask and tag us at Method to Madness Films.
That's so that we can reshare what you've shared, and we can tell people, hey, these are our warriors. These are the people that are fighting with us. So
and keep sending us the. I think we still have some fan art of Emma's that we need to post, right?
Oh yes.
So yeah, we need to do
tomorrow's Friday,
that.
so we'll do that tomorrow.
Yes. So keep sending us. Yes.
I've seen a lot of the art that you guys have shared so far, and I'm very impressed. It's all looked great so far that I've seen. So that's pretty cool. Thanks,
Drew. Yeah, I mean, I actually started in illustration. That's what I thought I was gonna do. Hell yeah, guys! 40K for the future win.
Yeah.
I mean, let's do it.
Thanks, Sean.
Let's hit it. Playing Animal Crossing right now.
You have an early morning, Emma. Come on.
She's allowed to multitask. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Share tag with Batman influencers, people that are talking about Batman and talking about the comics and the movies. Yeah, those are the guys to share with.
And if you guys know of anybody that you think we should be talking to, let us know. Just DM us. We read everything that comes in. We might not respond to 100% of it, but we read everything. So, my mom.
No. Okay. Stay up.
So fun to have you guys hang with you guys. So, but we're gonna say goodnight, and we need sleep. So, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next time. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
Good night,
Drew.
Good night. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Night.
Thanks, everyone.